Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to sew your very own cute little narwhal. This is a pattern that I made myself, and in the description down below I'll have a link to the template where you can print it out and cut out all the pieces. So grab your coffee, tea, or hot chocolate and let's get started. So for materials, you'll need some felt, one in a body color and one in white. You'll also need some thread to sew it with, preferably one matching your body color and some in white, but you can use whatever thread you've got. I've got embroidery floss right here and I like it, works pretty well. You'll also need something for the eyes. You can either cut circles out of scrap black felt or you can use buttons or something like that. And then last but not least, you also need a happy little cloud, also known as stuffing. So this is what you should have when all the pieces are cut out. 2 body pieces in the main color, 2 fin pieces in main color, 2 fin pieces in white color, 1 tail fin piece in main color, 1 tail fin piece in white, 1 horn piece in white, 1 bottom piece in white, and 1 top piece in the main color. So we're going to start with the fins. So take your 2 fin pieces, put them together. Get your needle and thread. If you're using embroidery floss, I'd recommend separating it into 2 strands. And so basically just bring your needle up on this corner right there, in the top corner. And what you're going to do is you're going to sew all around this edge and stop right here. Just all around the edge, but you do not want to sew, this area together. So everything but this area. So once you've got it all sewn together around the edge, make a couple knots in your thread and then cut it. So now what we have to do is we have to turn this inside out, which for small pieces that can be a little tricky sometimes, so use your scissors or a pencil or something to help you. Just press along those edges, just make sure it's fully turned inside out. There we go. We've already got one little fin done. So do the same exact thing with the next fin. So the tail fin is pretty much done the same way. So put your 2 pieces together, and then when you sew, start at this corner, work your way all around, and then stop at this corner. You do not want to sew this part shut. Don't sew this. Just start here, work your way all around, sew it all up, and stop here. Once you do that, then cut it, turn it inside out like we did with the fins. So now that we've got our tail pieces finished, the next step is to start on the body. So take one of the side pieces and the top piece. Basically line the tip of the body piece with the edge of the top piece. So see how I did that just like right there. And basically what you're going to do is you are going to put your needle in through here, sew all along this edge. Just sew these pieces together. When you get to the part where it curves, basically just fold this over so it lines up, and just keep doing that all the way around until you eventually, it'll curve like that till you eventually get to this last bit. So line your pieces up and just sew until you reach the end. So this is how it'll look when you've got the body piece on. You can see here's the piece, and then here It's that straight piece, and we just kind of curved it along the edge. So the next step is to take your other body piece, line it up at the tip right there, and just do the same thing. Just keep sewing along and curve it around as you go. And that'll make this other side like that, and that's the main part of the body. So now that you've got both sides sewn on, turn it inside out. You can see that the body is starting to take shape. So now it's time for us to add the eyes. So I'm using buttons today. So you can kind of see on this one about where the eyes are going to be. So right here, like this spot right here, that's the horn. So sew on your eyes kind of about right there. And if you want to do eyes like this, just cut out a circle in black felt and then use some white and just do a little white stitch, and it kind of gives it a cute little shiny look to it. So basically, go ahead, sew on both of your eyes, and then we'll move on to the next step. So now that we've got the eyes on, turn it inside out again. And then we're going to take your bottom piece and take the edge and line it up with this edge right here. Just kind of put that on there, get those two edges lined up. You see how I've got it, these two edges right here all lined up next to each other. So basically just take your thread, start here, just sew this edge right here, these two pieces right along here, just sew those together. Okay, so now we've got this edge sewn. What we're gonna do is basically be sewing the white to this edge. And I think I made a little error in calculation. See this white bit, it kind of sticks out quite a bit. I made a mistake there. But don't worry about it for the moment. I'll show you how to fix that when we get there, when we get to it. So here what we're going to do is we're going to sew a little bit, kind of like about this much. When you get to here, what we're going to do is take your fin. Hey, it's me from the future visiting you through the magical process of editing. But anyway, later on in the tutorial, as I was showing this step, I forgot to tell you to stuff the fin. So I'm interrupting right now, telling you to stuff the fin before you sew it on. I already sewed this one on, and I don't know where my brain was. I forgot to stuff it. So right now, go ahead, stuff your two little fins so you don't forget to do it later after it's already sewn on, like I did. Unless you want it unstuffed. I mean, for the fin, I'm just going to leave it how it is since it's already sewn. But it's not too much of a difference. Use this one. It's not too bad. But don't forget it, like I did. Stuff your fins right now. Make sure the white side is facing down. Kind of just slip it in about right there. You can see about where the fin is right there. So just sew a little bit, and then we're going to be sewing the fin right along with that, and just go down to the very end where that purple bit is. So when you're doing the fin, you just poke into it and sew it together right there like you normally would. So here's the finished side, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So make sure it's all lined up. Take your fin, white side facing down, and so let's just make sure it's lined up with the previous fin. So the fin was right here, so right here is where we're going to put this fin. and kind of feel it. Just make sure you've got them across from each other, lined up all nicely. So do the exact same thing. Start here, sew all the way down until you reach the end. So now we've got both edges sewn up, and the next thing we need to do is turn it inside out. So your little narwhal's coming along pretty good. So the next thing you want to do is just stuff the inside, and then we'll get to our finishing touches. So we've got it nice and stuffed now. He's looking pretty cute. So with this little extra bit, just kind of line it up and just cut that extra off. Like that. There we go, that looks a lot better. So next, we're going to stuff the tail fin, and then we'll sew it onto the body. So to join the pieces, basically line the top and just line the top pieces together, and start here and use invisible stitch to sew all the way till you hit the white again. So to finish it up on the bottom, just use your white thread and do invisible stitch to sew up that bit there, just like on the top. So to make the horn, take your piece, fold it in half, like this, and then just take your white thread and sew up this edge right here. Don't sew this edge right here, just the long edge. Just sew that together with the white thread. So once you have it sewn together like this, turn it inside out and then stuff it. Once it's all nice and stuffed, to make this spirally pattern, what we're going to do is take your thread and going very tightly, wrap it around the horn. And you might have to try it a couple times to get that nice spiral. But that's how you do a spiral. I'll try it one more time. It's a little hard because it's small. Let's see. Okay, once you get it how you like it, just take your thread and make a knot at the top to secure it. And then the last step is just take your horn and sew it on right there. I like to use a pin or two to help keep it in place while I'm sewing. I basically just sew that right on and then it'll be done. So here's the finished cute little narwhals. I love how they came out. If you have any questions about the pattern or need help with anything, just comment below and I'll do my best to help you out. If you end up making your own little narwhal, post a picture of it on Instagram and tag me in it. I'd love to see it. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.